Okay.
All right, all right. Peace, blessings, enough, holy, plenty, a lot of love to all our kings and our queens in the house. Welcome all to Dream Team, where dreams come through. Thank you very much, Queen Kanla, for that wonderful, awesome welcome. And of course, Queen Yvonne Finn, for that wonderful, lovely welcome in your lioness hairdo. Thank you very much. And also, Queen Irene on the scene. Uh, Definitely. Thank you all very much. We do thank you on this wonderful Sunday, and it is April 2025, where it is so good to be alive. Thank you all for making it Dream Team. And without any further ado, even though our wonderful international um, recording, singing artist is not feeling a little too well, we do send prayers to her and hope that she get a speedy recovery. But we are still featuring her one and only theme song, In It to Win It, because that is what we do here on Dream Team. We have to be in it to win it. And so, without any further ado, we just want you to look at our In It to Win It recorded artist, which is Lorata Shadari. And of course, there are some non-verbal video attached to it. And just pay keen attention to those as it elaborates on our journey here in ONPASSIVE. Stay tuned.
We are here. We are on passive.
Your next stop is ONPASSIVE.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
All right, wonderful. Stand clear of the closing door, please. Thank you very much, Queen Lirato Shadari. And it is now for one of the most fabulous moments that we are going to have in this webinar, and that is the mindset, most definitely, because the mindset is of tantamount importante in our lives today. Very important. In other words, it's very important to have a good mindset, because people who don't have a good mindset, they do all sorts of things. They cut their wrists, they commit suicide, they drink poison, and jump off a bridge. You know, they do some weird things when they don't have the right mindset. And so this is not just for ONPASSIVE, especially those that are on our YouTube. It's not just for ONPASSIVE, it is for anything in life. Just by living in this life, you need to have a good mindset. And so, without any further ado, our one and only 100% international speaker, host for other programs, most definitely. And she and Dr. Yvonne has a weekly program, 5 days a week, at about 1 p.m. I call them the Yvonne duo, Queen Yvonne and Queen Yvonne. and so and so she's well renowned. She is an international speaker, and so she's the one who is going to give us the mindset. 20% of things that are physical, and 80% of things that are mental is what the mindset caters for. And so, without any further ado, we are going to turn things over to our one and only Queen Yvonne Finn for the mindset this wonderful Sunday. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Derek. And, you know, it's going to be one of the record short ones because I was just asked to do that. You know how it happened just now. So anyways, I'll do my best. So this one is called Clarity versus Visibility. And I say, stay clear, which is C-L-E-A-R. You got to have clarity, right? Greetings, everyone. Happy Easter Sunday for those who are celebrating. And thank God for giving us this precious life again today. We shouldn't take it for granted, as we're always being told here. That's part of the mindset, gratitude. So let me start with a quick image. Have you ever driven through thick fog? Your headlights are on, and you can only see a few feet ahead. You're not seeing the whole road, but you are clear about where you are going. That is clarity without visibility. And too often we chase visibility, which is the spotlight, the recognition, the applause, the self-promotion. We chase those things. But visibility is external, while clarity is internal. And here's the mindset shift. Clarity must come before visibility, because if you're visible without being clear, you're just exposed, not empowered. So let's stay clear. And this whole talk will be the acronym, which I always produce. So the C in clear is centered in purpose. Clarity starts when you are centered in why you are doing what you are doing. Visibility asks, who's watching me? While clarity asks, what drives me? Then the L is led by conviction. People with clarity don't wait to see or be seen before they move. They're led by deep conviction, not public approval. And then the E in clear is equipped for the unknown. Clarity prepares you for foggy seasons. You may not see the full picture, but when your internal compass is steady, you still move forward. The A in clear is anchored, not distracted. Visibility can pull you in every direction, but clarity anchors you. It keeps you from chasing trends or applause or comparison. The R in clear is ready for the moment. When your moment of visibility comes, and it will, you'll be ready because clarity has already shaped you into someone worth watching. So here's the bottom line. Don't let the lack of visibility make you doubt the clarity of your calling, your purpose, your goal. Visibility may open doors, but it's clarity that ensures you walk through them with confidence. So stay clear. You'll never lose your way. And when you stay clear, even the fog can't stop you. Thank you very much. I hope you got something out of that. I told you it would be quick. Okay. Thank you, Queen
Oh,
Carmen. I
mercy.
see. Thank you. I see you over there.
What?
Yes, yes, yes. I was asked to make it brief, and there it is.
Brilliant, brilliant,
All right.
brilliant.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I guess that is the clarity that we are having right now.
It
That
is.
it was very short clarity.
Yes.
All right. Wonderful. All right. Thank you very much,
Thank
Queen
you.
Yvonne Finn.
Okay.
Really appreciate, really
Thank you, Dr.
appreciate,
Derek.
really,
And Dr.
really,
Queen Carmen.
really appreciate. And oh my goodness, you see, that hairstyle is really a Florida type hairstyle, you know. It's not a winter, it's not a winter type hairstyle you have there, you know. So
We
I
have
don't know
9
if
degrees here, so it's not winter
listen,
anymore. Okay?
you see, your body is being confused right now. You know, your hair is living a Florida style, and you come on, man.
Dr.
You know,
Derek.
get to the program, huh? Oh, mercy.
Thank you, Dr.
All right.
Derek.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it, Queen
Thank
Yvonne Finn. That was just awesome, 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 awesome. All right, moving right along with our next wonderful presenter, the main presenter of the day. And we just want to let you know that this young lady is no stranger. Yes, she is an entrepreneur in her own right. She is an international acclaimed speaker, most definitely, and she has been endowed with giving us the presentation for today. Know your body. The only person that to know your body is you. I can't know your body for you, but know your body and cancer. And without any further ado, we are going to turn it over to our one and only sweet, lovely, beautiful, attractive presenter, Queen Irene Ekwede. Over to you.
Wow, Dr. Derek, thank you very much. Happy Easter, everyone who celebrates Easter. Like we're saying, it's Easter, and it's gonna be quick, chop, 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 so that we can go celebrate. Amen. So, Dr. Derek, that was a wonderful introduction. I didn't know that was me, but thank you all. So, as he said, I am not anyone that needs to be introduced. You see me here almost every Sunday. And but the one thing you don't know much about me is that I am an oncology nurse, and I have been an oncology nurse for, I don't know, 20-something years, about 25 years. And so when they asked me to say something on cancer, I'm like, where am I going to start? Because this is such a broad topic. But the one thing that I thought we should all know is that you need to know your body. You need to know your body, because when you know your body, then you can know when things are not very right. Okay, so I'm using a new laptop. I don't know how to use it very well, so I hope I can get to my stuff. All right, so can you see my slides?
Absolutely. Yes.
Trying to get there. Where is slideshow? How is that?
Good,
Good.
great.
And ooh, I need to move some of these people out of the way. Okay, so why are we talking about this today? Knowing your body and cancer. Why? Why is this important? So in 2024, it was estimated that about 2 million people, a little above 2 million, there would be new cases of cancer diagnosed in the US, and approximately 600,000 of these people are going to die from cancer. 40% of men and women will be diagnosed with cancer at some point in their lives. So that is very scary. It's more than a third of people will be diagnosed with some kind of cancer at some point in their lives. And that is not something to take lightly. And I listed a couple of most common cancers that we hear all the time. Breast cancer, prostate cancer is actually on the rise. So amen, you have to be very vigilant, need to know your body. Lung cancer, colorectal, melanoma, and so on. And the interesting thing here is that these cancers, in as much as there is a lot of research going on and there have been treatments that have been found that can treat these conditions, these cancer cells are becoming tricky. And we are having a lot of resistance to existing treatments. And so that is something that we need to know our bodies, because when these things are found early, when they are caught early, when they are very small, it is easy to just cut it out, or it is easy to give treatment and you're cured. Unlike when it has been so advanced, then it is difficult, very difficult to treat when it is advanced. All right, where's my next button? All right, my slides are not moving. Sorry, guys, give me a minute. I don't know if my screen is too big for me and I can't see.
It is full. Can try using the up and down arrow keys to move it.
Yes,
sometimes when it's blocked.
For some reason, it
just moved.
Okay, sorry. So what I said, so know your body and cancer, because cancer does not grow overnight, okay? By the time they tell you that you have cancer, it has been brewing slowly in your body. And so if you knew your body very well, you probably would know that something is different, okay? So cancer development takes a variable amount of time, depending on the type of cancer and the individual's health and other factors. So depending on the cancer, some cancers will take years to actually come up to where they will know something is wrong. Some will do fast, and there are other things that will determine how fast or how slow it does, which is like your health. If you are very healthy, it will take a long time for cancer to actually grow in you and manifest. And if you are in poor health, like people that have compromised immunities, it can be very quick, and and it can overwhelm your body fast too. If you're living a lifestyle that is not very supportive to your life, like drinking a lot, eating poorly and all that, these things can be quick. If you're smoking, these things can, develop fast in you and show up. So it takes months to years for a tumor to be large enough to be detected as cancer and cause symptoms. So like for cervical cancer, typically it takes about 15 to 20 years to develop. So if you are one that does your pap smears yearly, you can catch this quick. Breast cancer can take many years, probably even up to 25 years before it will actually manifest and start showing symptoms. If you know your body, you'll probably know that something is not right before it gets that big. So there is no one size fits all answer for how long it takes for cancer to grow. So know your body and cancer is that you need to know your body very well. You need to know how your skin looks like. Know all the moles that are on your body. It is kind of like a little challenging for those who have like skin that has been destroyed by sun. Like some of us who grew in Africa, working in the farm from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., we have so many moles and, you know, in our body, we have so many moles and tags on your body, but it's okay. You can look, see how it looks like, and then maybe little changes, you can tell that this thing was small, why is it getting big? Put an eye on it if there are some changes. So you just have to know, like when you get up in the morning and you take your shower and you're standing in front of the mirror, just look at yourself. It's difficult to see your back. You're going to ask your partner or your kids or someone that lives with you in the house, family. If you're a kid, mom, dad, well, depending on the sex too, who can tell, you know, look at your back and see if there's anything. Actually, you have mirrors that you can actually use your hand mirror to look at your back on a bigger mirror. So just know how your body looks like. Know how you feel, okay? Know how you generally feel. You're always tired. Okay, depending on how you work, you might be tired coming back from work, but it is not all the time that you are tired. So when you start feeling tired, when you haven't really done anything, you might start thinking, something is not right here. Know your mood. Know when you eat. There are some things that when you eat, they can bother your stomach. But if you every now and then, or more often than ever, you start getting bloating, you start feeling uncomfortable, you start feeling indigestion, don't just feel like, oh, I don't know, maybe it's that thing that I ate yesterday. You need to know what bothers you when you eat. And so when you start feeling these things, when you really don't eat that thing that bothers you, it is something to think about. Know about your bowel routines and habits. Do you go to the bathroom every day? Do you go every other day? If now you start taking longer, now getting constipated when that was not something that you're used to doing, you need to get checked, because you can't just assume that, oh, maybe it's because I'm not drinking, or maybe because I ate this or ate that. Don't make assumptions. But if you know your body very well, you can tell that something is not right. Please give me a minute. Chef. All right. Then, please, it is your body. When you go to the bathroom and you clean your poop, don't be ashamed. Don't feel bad to look at the toilet paper. Look in the toilet, look in the commode. Because sometimes the poop that comes out is stringy, unlike being a round form. So look at things. It is your body. It is your poop. It is not anything wrong in looking in the commode to see if there's any kind of blood. If the poop that you had is floating instead of sinking down. If it is whitish, if it is, you look at that, know what changes it is. If you go to pee, okay, does it take long for you to sit down and initiate this peeing? For a man, how is the stream? Is it strong as it used to be? Or is it now dribbling? Or is it slow, weak? Those are things that, don't just assume that it's old age. Those are things that you need to know and check. See if there's any blood in it. There's nothing wrong in looking, like I said, looking in the format, looking at the toilet paper that you use. If you're a woman and it's not time for your period, and then you saw spots on your undies, don't just assume that, oh, maybe whatever, it's my period, or I'm having irregular periods or whatever. That is something that has to be concerning. Check. If you have a good appetite and all of a sudden you are not having the appetite that you have, the things that you like to eat, you just don't feel like eating it, or you get full quickly when you eat, don't just assume that, oh, I don't know what's wrong with my body, and you need to check, put emphasis on things like that. So, but if you know your body and know that I can eat a bowl of fufu, if you know what fufu is, or I can eat a whole hamburger and I'm fine, then when you can't finish that hamburger, or when you eat it, you start having heartburn, or bloating, or some kind of discomfort or indigestion, you are having nausea, you need to get your body checked. Like I said, stand in front of the mirror. Ladies, stand in front of the mirror, raise your hands up, put your hands over your head, turn on the side, turn, every day. Because you stand in front of the mirror and do your face. Why can't you stand there and look at your boobs and see what is going on? Any sagging, any twisting. Sometimes when you raise your hands up and, your breasts don't look smooth and, as they usually are, something might be wrong. And sometimes it might just be a little pinch, and then it starts getting bigger, But if you know how your breasts look like standing in front of the mirror every day, then you know that something is different. So those are the things that I said: know your body, know, your system, know how often you go to the bathroom, how your poop looks like. There are some things that when I eat, I can go to the bathroom easily, but it's not diarrhea. But if I get that soft stool after I ate something that normally doesn't do that to me, then I have to think about it. Okay, I don't think I can overemphasize on knowing your body, because when you know your body, it's easy for you to know that there's a difference. So what exactly is cancer? Like I said, today we're just gonna be chap. It's gonna just be a generalized talking, because there are so many different types of cancer and I can't say everything about it, but cancer is a disease where cells grow uncontrollably and can spread to other parts of the body. So normally your cells, the body cells has a way that the cells divide. So one cell, which I'll call a mother cell, will divide, and we will have two daughter cells that look exactly the same as the mother cell. Okay, so in cancer, something goes wrong somewhere, which we don't know what it is, and then these cells, they grow, they don't look like the mother cell anymore. And then that process of cell division, where usually the cell will divide, stop somewhere, check itself, make sure the DNA is dividing exactly as it was before, and then it does a division again, it stops. So sometimes you hear they tell you some cancer medications are called checkpoint inhibitors. So these cells will divide, stop, check itself, divide again, stop, check itself, and does a third and final stage of cell division. I'm not going to go into too much details in that, because that's a lot of biology. But yeah, so normal healthy cells take, a process of dividing. But for some reason, if something went somewhere, something is wrong, and there is an error in that cell division, a stage is skipped where it's supposed to stop and check itself is skipped, and these cells will just grow wild, and they don't look anything like the mother cell. It can start almost anywhere in the body. So that's why you have all kinds of cancer: breast, ovarian, lung, skin, cervical, you name it, prostate. And these cells can grow and multiply so fast you will not believe it. Okay, so I just had an example here. So you see here, this is your liver, and you look at the surrounding or look at the cell, the liver in the human being. That's how smooth it looks. It takes a process for it to divide. The cells divide orderly, and they look well arranged and smooth and normal. But something went wrong somewhere, maybe too much of drinking, or you had some kind of irradiation, or you ate something that knocked out an electron or caused, destroyed a link in the DNA, then you see that these cells here, they just grow wild and they are disorderly, and you see how bumpy it is. So that's what happens to cancer. The cells don't multiply the way they're supposed. The division is disrupted, and the cells just grow wild. You look at the breast, like I said, stand in front of the mirror and look at yourself. So looking at this breast, it probably started as a little red spot, and then it grows slowly every day. And usually at the beginning, it's not painful. The only time that cancer starts getting painful is when it has grown big and it's now crushing or squeezing neighboring tissues or neighboring cells, including like the nerves. So like in this breast here, it's been slowly growing, and you can see now it looks bigger. And so the tissues that have been growing fast are probably now squeezing on the nerve endings on the skin of this breast. And that's the only time that you start feeling pain in cancer. So pain is usually not at the beginning. So what are some common signs and symptoms of cancer? Like I said, it depends on the location, whether it's on the skin, it's on the breast, it's the lung, the liver, the uterus, ovaries, the prostate. The signs are different, but I'm just going to give like a broad. These signs that I'm talking here are usually like the beginning before it would become very specific, depending on the type of cancer. So you can see visible changes on your skin, like we saw with the breast cancer. Even with skin cancer, that's how you'll see there will be a visible change, some lesion, something on your skin. And then persistent unexplained fatigue. You get tired even when you have rested. You go to bed, you wake up, you can barely get out of bed, and you're just wandering. And usually this fatigue is not that pronounced when in the beginning. But like I said, if you know your body well, you know how you feel after you've rested, after you had a good night's sleep. You jump up in the morning, take a shower, and you're gone. But you wake up in the morning and you have to pull yourself out of bed. You have to intentionally say, oh my God, I need to get up to go to work. Unexplained weight loss or weight gain. Depending on the type of cancer, you can actually gain weight. But most of the cancers, it will be weight loss. And sometimes the weight will be sudden and then probably stabilize and then start, you continue losing. But if you get that sudden weight loss, that is not intentional. Like you're not making any efforts to lose weight. Don't just be happy because, oh my God, I was 190, now I'm 170 today, and you're just happy. No, just know that something is not right. If, feeling nausea is very uncomfortable, and it's not something that happens all the time. So when you start feeling sick, nauseated for just no reason, you have to get your body checked. Just that general feeling of unwellness, general malaise, you just feel unwell. Like some of us who are from Africa, sometimes I'd be saying that, if I was in Cameroon, I would think that I have malaria. Well, but if you start getting that feeling of unwellness, even when you don't do anything, even when you don't have any other symptoms, you just I don't feel well. I don't feel myself. Don't just think that, well, I don't know, something is wrong and don't do it, take it serious. Like I said, sometimes these things will wax and wane. They will come on and then they kind of like go away, and they come on again and they go away because this thing is doing slowly. But it's because your body is, your body's immunity is trying to fight off this new thing in it. It's identifying this thing and it's producing chemicals, producing antibodies to fight it. And these antibodies will make you get that general unwellness. It gets to a point where the body now get used to having that foreign body in it, and it just stays quiet. But so when you start feeling that general unwellness, the waning and waxing of unwellness, nausea, weight loss, and all that, please get your body checked. Okay, abdominal discomfort, you just feel bloated all the time. You feel indigestion, don't just assume that it is something that you get your body checked. Persistent pain. So this will not be severe pain that you need to take treatment for it. You'll get this dull, aching pain, some pain that you are aware that something is not right. Like, I'll tell you that yesterday I was sitting there, I think because I work in oncology, I'll be looking at everything on my body. I was feeling some pain in my flank and I'm like, oh my God, this is my left kidney. What's going on with my kidneys? I think I need to go get checked. And then I said, well, maybe because I've been busy all day, I didn't drink or whatever. But if you know your body so well, when you get that dull, annoying, disturbing pain that you really do not need to take medicine for it, but you know is there, don't let it go for too long. When you start having that headache that is kind of like localized, maybe in your forehead, in the middle of your head, or in the back of your head, something like that, and it is there even when you take Tylenol, it really doesn't go away, please get checked. It is better that they check and it's nothing than for you to wait and then it gets bigger or you start getting real symptoms before they're trying to fight it. Because if they see it is early, it is easy to treat it. Unexplained fevers, night sweat, changes in bowel and bladder habits, I already told you that. Please do not hesitate. So what are the causes of cancer? Generally, nobody knows. Generally, most cancers, we don't know what the cause is. It is, like I said, an unexplained error in the process of cell division. Something went wrong somewhere in the cell division, and then the cells just went wild, just growing. But there are some cancers that are inherited genetically. If you have heard about some types of breast cancer and ovarian cancer that are genetically inherited, for people that have a mutation, it's called BRCA. Okay, something like that, it is inherited. And trust me, if you, the one thing with breast, ovarian cancer, and some prostate cancers, if you're young, young is 50 and below, and you're diagnosed with any of these cancers, for those who are in the United States, I'll talk about United States. If you go and you are diagnosed with prostate cancer, breast cancer, ovarian cancer at a young age, they have to do that genetic testing for you. And if it is positive, your entire family gets those tests free. So they test you for BRCA because it's a very expensive test to do. But if a family member is diagnosed with breast cancer, ovarian cancer, or prostate cancer, and it is BRCA positive, your family is entitled to get those tests done for free. The thing is that if you did not know, your doctors will not really, some doctors will not really recommend this, especially because they are expensive and they don't want to spend money. Some doctors will be good enough and they'll tell you that, okay, because you're BRCA positive, they have to test everybody. Let me tell you, if you test everybody, male and females, because even men do get breast cancer, which is BRCA positive. So everybody get tested for that genetic abnormality, okay? So other things that will predispose you or increase your risk of having cancer are environmental exposures like smoking, exposure to radiation, certain infections, okay? Certain infections. There are some types of cancers that are caused by infections. Cervical cancer, some colorectal cancers, rectal cancers, they are caused by infection, what we call HPV. And as not long ago, they were doing this HPV vaccination for young girls who are still virgins, who have not been having sex. They recommend that they get HPV vaccines. And then lifestyle choices like obesity. People that are obese, they have an increased risk of having cancer, lack of exercise, excessive drinking, smoking. I mean, you can go on and on and on. So what are the things? So what do you do to prevent cancer? Like I said, we're just doing a generalized talking about these things, but there are specific preventive measures depending on what the type of cancer is. But generally, it's just lifestyle choices, you know, avoiding those things that will increase your risk of having cancer. Also, screenings. There are all kinds of screenings for some of these common cancers, like the cervical cancer, lung, breast, all of that. There are screening tests that you need to do. Colorectal cancer. The one bad thing with colorectal cancer is that they do not have a lot of treatment options. So I'm telling you, it's good to see it quick. If they see it quick, they can cut that part of the gut out and you are fine. When it gets big and you start having symptoms, because before they find it, you know, many times that is probably like a death sentence for you, because there is not much of any treatment for colorectal cancers. So regular physical activity, a balanced diet, protecting your skin from exposure, living a clean, healthy life, don't have unprotected sex, don't have too many partners. Those things that will help prevent cancer. All right. I had said we're just gonna do quick. I felt like this would be something that we'll have to do like a series, and I would do one each type of cancer every time so that we can talk more detailedly on each one of them, especially those ones that before you know, they are so advanced that treatment is really not possible. So things like ovarian cancers, colorectal, prostate. There are also some kinds of cancer like skin cancer, Kaposi sarcomas, and some of those things that people need to know about. And there are things that you can prevent them, or you can get these things diagnosed early and get treatment, and don't wait until it is too advanced and difficult to treat. Believe it or not, breast cancer, which is supposed to be something that they can quickly see, we still see women in the hospital with stage 3, stage 4, stage 5 breast cancer in the United States. We still see people here with stage 4 cervical cancer, when just a yearly pap smear can prevent that. Your breast, just looking at it every time, touching your breast yourself, making sure you don't have any lumps. These are things that should be preventable. Getting your mammograms, people still don't do them, and they come to the hospital with stage 4 breast cancer. When you get to that, it is difficult to treat. I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to ask the leaders of this group to maybe we plan this and we'll do a series, and we will do one cancer every time we meet so that we can talk detailedly and the treatment options and the things that you need to do to prevent, or the things that you need to do to prevent other family members from having it. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Queen. Sister, that was very
Oh,
well
mercy,
delivered.
mercy, 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 mercy. Wonderful. Woo! Mercy. Where else can you go and get this comprehensive training on cancer? The only place you get it is right here on Dream Team, where it help you to keep your dream alive, because you cannot keep your dream alive when you're sick. You have to be well and kicking, up and kicking. All right. So at this time, okay, Queen, Doctor, Patient, go ahead.
Thank you, King Derek. I said I was in the background, but this topic is so dear to us. It's Eric knows what has just happened when we had, and there's some research that says that we shouldn't be dying of cancer anymore. And I think this topic is very important because we are known our bodies. And there's a lot of things that, especially with the digestive system, I think that most of us just take it for granted. Oh, I was bloated. Oh, I just need to do that. So I want to plead with Sister Irene, if you can come and make a series and just take one at a time. Like, for example, if you say breast cancer, what should we be looking for to know our bodies? That will be men, women, and men too. Take prostate, just like the common ones. Then maybe you do gradually like that, and then maybe you can go to the rare forms, like the gallbladder type of cancer. Please, if you can indulge us with a series, we will appreciate it. Thank you. This is very good general topic. Now my antenna is up now. I might have to go and see my doctor because there's so many things that have been just like, I have digestive issues. This. Maybe I should have go and push enough for some study, do some imaging. But this is very good. Thank you, Dream Team, for always putting good topic together. To educate ourselves, as Dr. Derek says, how can we do our dream on an unhealthy body? I just wanted to add that, Dr. D. I don't have much to say. Thank you all, guys. I love you, my family.
All right, all right. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Dr. P. Really appreciate. And moving right along, just before we get into the questions and discussions, we'll just right off the top, just let you know that there is not much going on right now. Ash Mufari did me updates. That's what I'm just getting right into as I'm standing on the floor. There is he did come on a webinar last week, Wednesday, and he just elaborated on what the SEC is doing and what has conspired and so on. So it's still to be patient. We still have a few things to iron out. The SEC still is doing their investigation. So within maybe a next 60 days or there about 90 days, we should see maybe some more movements in terms of our company. So just be patient, keep your eye on the OES, on updates. I think there is the video of just what Ash said to us on Wednesday. So if you want to take another listen and see if you can grasp a little more. But it's basically, as I said, just going into a little bit more detail. It coming like when you read the Bible and the Bible going to some prophecy. When you read Daniel 2 talk about the image and so on, the statue that Nebuchadnezzar dreamt. And then by the time you reach Daniel 7, Daniel 8, and Daniel 9, it take it to a whole new dimension. All right. So, it's basically just that. It's just another build up from the 16th. All right. So just let us be patient. It is still work in progress. So let us be patient. He has more handle on this section of things than before. So just let us be patient. So that is our updates. So thank you all very much. Really appreciate it. And at this time, I'll turn it over to Queen Candler if she has any more updates and to take us into the question and discussion. Over to you, Queen Candler.
Thank you, King Dr. Derek. My name is Kanla Rahenge from the first state of Delaware. I think you have said it all, Dr. Derek, regarding the additional updates from our CEO. I will join my voice to echo that. We listen to him. He is the one who gives us the update. And I think he's encouraging us to refrain from a hearsay. For those of us who may not understand a hearsay, don't listen to anybody who tells you anything about ONPASSIVE. There is only one voice, one person, one source, and that is our CEO, Mr. Ash Mufare. If you miss to attend any of the updates webinar, as they will be coming now, based on the dates that will be given to us, if you're not able to go to your back office to follow those dates, when you miss them, then join any of the webinars and then make time to go back and listen to what these updates are. So that is all I just wanted to re-echo on updates from our CEO. Now, as we get now to the next part of our webinar, which is our Q&A, I know we are a team, Dr. Benny, our First Lady, and the rest of the team. I coordinate with them. Sister Yvonne is also here, who gave us the brilliant and the most inspirational mindset, short, sweet, with clarity that, I mean, this is the first of the shortest and clear in our Dream Team webinar. So we want to appreciate you. Thank you. And if you have anything, Queen Yvonne, at this time, say a few words, and then we can open it up to our affiliates if they have any questions or comments. Over to you, Queen Yvonne.
Thank you, Queen Candler. So yes, my name is Yvonne Finn. I live in Canada, and it's still winter here. It's only 8 degrees. I have to keep reminding myself of that. But I'm indoors, so thank Lord for that, you know, roof over your head kind of thing. So thank you. So yes, there are no definitive questions yet on the chat, mostly just kudos and congratulations and thank you to both Queen Irene and myself for the presentation. So we'll see what comes next.
Okay. All right. So please, if you have questions or comments, feel free to raise your hands as it pertains to our topic. I mean, this is a very interesting topic for us to have a conversation today.
It is, yes.
I think I made a contribution saying that some of us, the older generation, we were raised to be silent, or you're quiet about discussing about your body. We have that uncomfortable mindset even to talk about yourself. So now we are at the time where we have the opportunity, or we have learning that it is no longer something that you can keep to yourself, because it all begins with you.
Yeah.
If you don't know yourself, how do you even begin to have that conversation?
Absolutely. That's one of the points I wanted to make when this is my turn. So I'll just tell Queen Irene, it's a perfect presentation because it's balanced between the dreaded insidious disease that we can't have any power over, except being aware of what we're supposed to be aware of. That's clarity. You know, she's very clear about that. We don't know why, generally, we don't know what causes it. I mean, there are some indicators, the bad lifestyle, blah, blah, blah. But the whole idea is that this is something that happens to anybody, even people who are eating well, exercising, doing all the good things, they still end up with this disease because it's a genetic malfunction, and systems do fail. People say systems don't fail out in the natural world here, right? But they fail, and so they do in our bodies as well. Something triggers it because those malformed cells are supposed to be done away with quickly, but sometimes they escape the checks and balances that are set in place. We don't know why that is, right? Doctors still are not definitive about that. But the whole idea is that we have a part to play, right? By doing the healthy things and by knowing our bodies. We know all kinds of other things. This is the most important thing. This is the house in which we live. We cannot escape it. So I'm not beating up anybody. I'm simply saying this, it's like how you say charity starts at home, right? It's the same thing. Know your body, and every little change can mean something if it persists or whatever it is, but just get it looked after. You know, there are people who will not go to the doctor for certain things. I don't know if you know that, Queen Kanda, but you know, they won't go. A certain exams, they will not submit to certain exams. They're not going to do it. I have friends like that.
Yep.
Correct.
I heard somebody say recently, a young man, 30, he said, I'd rather die than have that examination. And I'm thinking, are you serious?
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Yes.
I don't care where they want to look. I don't care. So yeah, so that's my little take on this. Thank you, Queen Irene. That was a very, 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 very well done delivery. And you were
know
worried.
what? For the young men, or for men in general who do not like that exam,
Yeah.
well, you have a new one now. Is a blood test.
There you go.
Just do it. Once you turn 35, well, it used to be 40. They're kind of like, doing this a little early because they're seeing younger people having prostate cancers and all whatnot. There's a test called PSA. If you go to your doctor and they order you tests, and they don't ask that, they don't add that to it, may be asked. People will be asking for their A1C, hemoglobin A1C. Men, ask the doctor for a PSA.
Good.
It might not really be conclusive, but that gives an alert for more tests to be done.
Thank you.
So if you really don't want to do that rectal exam to feel your prostate, because I know it is not even just the fact that they don't want it to do that exam, Sister Yvonne. Men generally don't just even go to the hospital.
I know, that's what I'm saying. They won't do it. They won't do it. Yes, I know.
They don't just go to the hospital for checkups.
Yeah, I know.
And they have insurance.
Yeah, it's not a matter of that. Yeah, they won't do it.
I don't understand. Look, please, if you have family, go after the boys. Ask them if they have gone for their yearly checkup.
Thank you so much, Queen Irene. You did really great.
The good thing is that there are so many options for prostate cancer treatments.
Yeah.
So many. Unlike colorectal, prostate cancer has a lot of treatments. And please, if they see it quick, they give you that treatment and you're done.
Yes, thank you.
All right. I think I see Dr. John Ajongwen's hand is raised. Over to you, Dr. John. We are glad to see you. Welcome and greetings.
Happy Easter to everybody.
Happy Easter, Dr. John.
Happy Easter.
Wow, it's such a profound topic. I think each and every one of us should really be blessed that our Queen sister has picked this topic to talk about. And I think the discussions that you just had right now was what prompted me to want to raise my hand up, because we the men, of course, either we macho enough or we're crazy with them, whatever the words are. I am one of those people that I would happily go to my doctor, and I mean, I have a doctor who's like 67, he's about to retire, and I'm really beginning to feel bad because he's been my doctor for the last 20 years, and he's complaining that those of us, his patients, are wanting him to stay. But he always has this joke like, when are you coming for your next plumbing checkup? And so you go in there, he does all the examination, and he says, the plumbing system is all good. Let's see you next time. But just like you're dealing with your home, you know, if you came in and all of a sudden you got water backup everywhere, the toilet is flushing out into the floor, you know, that is usually because you have had slight blockages in different areas and we ignore them. And then something happens. And the sad thing with our bodies is that we don't really have a lot of spare parts. I mean, they organ transplants, but there are not a lot of spare parts when it comes to some of these organs. And having just experienced something very, really, I'll say, profound, family, you know, the way that God created everything and mapped it together and linked it together. When you have a problem with one area, you know, it doesn't take a long time for it to hit other areas. So this is something which we need to really take with all due seriousness, because as Dr. Derek said, it doesn't really matter how many billions of dollars you got stuck in your house and you're watching them. If you don't have a good health to be able to enjoy them, no, it doesn't really matter. So this idea of health and wellness that this platform, the Deep Dive, and all the sister platforms have really been promoting, you know, even if we never have ONPASSIVE, I think each and every one of us would agree that it's been a blessing to have learned all this knowledge through these platforms. And I really want to thank everyone who has been so generous, who has been willing to share. And I want each and every one of us to actually take these things to heart. It's better to go and have those. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't care whether you're a male and you get examined by a female doctor, or you're female and you get examined by a male doctor. You know, even if it's embarrassing to you, that embarrassment lasts for about maybe 2 minutes or 3 minutes when you are in that room doing that examination, and you get out, and the miraculous thing is that nothing changes in your body, nothing changes in you. But if we get ourselves to a point where we do not have control over ourselves, guess what? Those same people now have absolute control over your body, and you cannot even say no. So it's just a matter of getting over that initial restriction. It's just a mindset thing. And I think we have learned a lot of mindset through these platforms to know that we can always change our mindsets for the better. Thanks again. Thanks for all the prayers that we have been receiving during this tough period that we've gone through as a family. It's going to be a tough journey to get even our younger ones to get into a new reality that has hit them. But we are all together, and I think with your support, we all move together. And let's keep learning and applying. Thank you once more for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. John.
Yes.
We appreciate you.
Queen Carla, I have a comment from Queen Edith. May I just go ahead and read it?
Yes, please.
She just wants to say thank you to Queen Irene for a very important subject of your presentation. In the list of the types of cancer, can you discuss signs and symptoms of any of the pancreatic cancer? So I guess she's adding her request to the series. I'm assuming that's what she means. So did you hear that, Queen Irene?
I did.
Okay, good.
Okay. So when these things start, like I said, when the body, so your body has like a security system, I'll call it. I just want to use some words like we have security here. You go to some buildings and you see security standing there, and they will, you know, fish out invaders. So your body has security built in. and so the body identifies what it's his or hers. So when there's something new, the body usually will pick up and know that there's something here that is not supposed to be there. And so initially you just get vague symptoms. Like I said, general malaise. The general malaise generally is because when your body now starts, fighting that new thing that they're identifying, it produces, antibodies, cytokines and all that. And those cytokines will actually make you feel sick. They make you feel like you have some of it is like flu-like symptoms. That's general unwellness. That's because your body has identified this thing and is producing extra T cells, extra chemicals to, fight off this foreign body or foreign thing that they identify in the body. I really did not specifically read pancreatic cancer, but the thing is that the pancreas is that which will produce, that's where you get the insulin that helps with, metabolizing carbohydrates or sugars in your body. And it is also there that, you have all these chemicals that they help with emulation, putting the poop together and it comes out formed and won't be floating and all that. So sometimes initially you might go to the bathroom, like I was saying it. Don't just go to the bathroom and sit down, poop and get up. You don't want to look in the toilet. It is your poop. Look at it. Clean yourself and see if there's any blood, if there's anything. So sometimes with pancreatic cancer, you might just have the poop floating because the chemicals that come in through your gallbladder and then joins in the GI to make your stools form and emulate usually is blocked by whatever is going on in the pancreas. And so if that doesn't come to emulsify the fats that you eat, then that fat will make your poop floating or whitish because it was not processed. So sometimes you can get your poop will be like lighter, light, like in weight. And you can poop and you see it floating on the toilet instead of sinking to the bottom of the basin. You get those abdominal discomforts, just generalized abdominal discomfort. You complain of indigestion because these chemicals that are supposed to be produced by the pancreas to process your food is being compromised. So you'll get bloating because you eat the food and it is not metabolized like it's supposed to. You're not getting the pancreatic amylase and all that to emulsify your poop. And so you get those general discomforts, abdominal discomforts, bloating. Your stool is either whitish. You eat greens and all whatnot, and the poop doesn't come out greenish or whatever. So those are some of the early symptoms. And then before you get to where your sugars now, if you had done your blood work, they will be either elevated because you probably are not getting enough insulin being produced to bring down your sugars, or sometimes the cells go crazy and you probably will produce excess insulin initially and your sugars will be low. So there's really no telling. It just depends on what is affected in that pancreas and where exactly that the cancer is located, if it's either to the end, in the tip of the pancreas or in the middle of it or towards the end. All of those symptoms will depend on the location. And this is one of those cancers that also do not have treatment options very much, unfortunately. And it is also one that you really don't quickly diagnose because it really doesn't have any early symptoms. This is right inside the gut, so you can't really see it until it gets advanced. So, but really, and I can, when I would do each type of cancer, we can get details on symptoms, but those would be like the early symptoms of pancreatic. cancer.
Thank you so much. I hope, yes, I think she's here, so she heard that. Thank you, Queen Irene. Okay.
Like I said, for most of the cancers, generally the symptoms are vague. It is not anything that you will point to. Trust me, ovarian cancer, you will still have those bloatings, indigestion, discomfort, probably maybe irregular periods. Your periods might be not up to 28 days or 20, but generally in the beginning, it will just be vague things that you will not even think of ovaries, like nothing to do with your ovaries. But that is just because your body has identified this foreign thing and is doing things to fight it off. And so you get all those vague symptoms. But the important thing is for you to know your body. I am not one that I always get indigestion. Why am I having this? Why am I bloated? I am not lactose intolerant. So those are some of the things that you start questioning yourself. Please don't take any vague symptom easy, lying low. When you start getting something and it's gone 1-2 weeks, get checked. Because like I said, it winds and wanes. It gets to a point where the body gives up fighting because now it is overwhelmed. They even start not identifying it as a normal part of them, and they don't do the fighting anymore. And then you just stay there, and then this thing will just be growing and be growing. You don't probably get those general malaise symptoms anymore. You don't get the indigestion anymore. You don't get the bloating anymore. And by the time they know, things are changing. If I can tell you that women will show up in the hospital just because they got up to wear their pants and they wouldn't button. You know what happened? They already developed ascites, and now their belly is huge, and their pants won't fit, their skirts won't fit. Or sometimes you're lying in bed and you realize that when you lie down, your abdomen, or because we are all here now fat and obese, and you really don't know what is going on. But before you lie down, because it's fluid, it will swing to the left or swing to the right. When you're waking up, you want to sit up, you can feel the fluid bounce in you, and you're like, something is not right. That's when they start going to the doctor. But you know what? At that time, it is like really late. It is like really late when you get ascites from ovarian cancer. But if you were going to the doctors, regularly and getting checked, the doctors, when they're examining your abdomen, those are things that you probably don't know, but they know what they're looking for. When they're squeezing on your belly, they just want to squeeze on just anywhere. There are specific spots on your abdomen that the doctors usually squeeze on because they know what they're looking for. You might not know if you are not a health person. I used to work in GYN and oncology, so I had a lot of women with ovarian cancer, cervical cancer, breast cancers. And I tell you, I go to the doctor and I'm like, please, can you feel my ovaries? Because you will see a young lady coming to see us for second opinion, but that's because they already went to their doctor and they realized they have ascites. They left, we're going to the doctor, coming for second opinion to leave there and go to work. Half the time they come, they don't go to work that day because they tell you we're going to admit you. They're coming looking good, well-dressed, strong, walking, and they get that bad news. You have ovarian cancer. Look, that is one of the worst cancers for women, and they deteriorate very fast. You see that woman today, once they start treatment, you see them again because their treatments are usually like every 3 weeks. You see them again in 3-6 weeks, you don't recognize them anymore. So I'm sorry, it is just horrible. Horrible. I have gone from one oncology team to another because I'll be here and I'm like, oh my, okay, I've seen so many deaths. I want to go somewhere where people don't die very much, but it is sad. It's death everywhere. But then we also have people that survive. You do hear people tell you that I'm a cancer survivor or whatever. That's because they found it quick and they caught it early and it was treated. I have a friend that just passed. They found hers. It was early, but she just, I don't know, she just did not believe in her doctor. Like she had colorectal cancer. They told her, all right, we're gonna do surgery, take this part of your colon out. But doing that, we'll have to give you a colostomy. So it's just, you know, moving your butthole to your abdomen, and it's supposed to be temporary. And then once that surgery is done and your gut heals, they will reverse this thing. And this is a young, beautiful, outgoing girl. She just did not see herself having a colostomy. All right, these things are temporary, but I wish she had talked to somebody about it. Okay, so these are some of the things that I think when we're doing series, we'll let you know. Having a colostomy, I mean, like in the Western world, nobody would even know that you have a colostomy. They do them so well. They have equipment, they have things that you will use, and nobody will even know that you have it. And then once this is treated, they reverse it and you are fine. But this girl, by the time she finally said, yes, I'll do a colostomy, it was too late. And these things, like I said, they grow, those cells, they grow exponentially. There will be 10 cells today. Tomorrow it'll be 100. The next day is 10,000. The next day is 1,000,000. They grow so fast that when they tell you that this is what you have, do not sleep. And don't hide it, please. Talk to people. Especially if you're not in the health field. But I mean, there are even people who are in the health field and you don't know everything. You don't have to announce it to the whole world, but you can pick some people that you think they are in the health field that can help you. Talk to them, ask questions. Like I was talking about the BRCA test. If you really don't have a very good doctor, they might not even do the BRCA test for you. Like I said, it's expensive. For the patient, when they initially do it for you, it's expensive. So the insurance is really tighten doing it. But it's good to do it, because if you do it and they find out that you are positive, then they do it for all your family members, especially if you are in that age bracket. If you are older, 60 and above, they probably just think that, well, I mean, but if you are young, they have to do that genetic test for you. And once they do it, if you are positive, they will do it for all your children, your siblings, and your parents. Is that the mom? I mean, they do it for parents because you don't know who gave you that genetic abnormality. At that time, it will be free. And you have a reason to say, hey, I was diagnosed with this. My family members might have this, because the US government is trying to, make sure that this doesn't continue. And also there are treatments that if they see it, they can do it. For those of you who know Angelina Jolie, I should not be calling people's names on here, but she didn't hide it. Her auntie died, her grandma died, and they did this testing on them, and they found out that they carried. She did bilateral mastectomy, and she took off her uterus and ovaries. And she's fine because she was found positive. So once you take those things out, then your risk of developing these things is very low, zero, or I mean, like very low to have it, because you don't have those organs anymore that will develop the cancer. So for those genetic types, they can easily do something about it. And so men can actually have BRCA mutation, and they can have breast cancer. So when they're doing these tests, when you're doing your siblings, do both the male and female siblings, do both parents, because you might have carried that BRCA abnormality from your dad. So the testing should be for everyone.
Thank you, Queen Irene. I mean,
a pin could drop on the floor. You hear everyone is paying attention and listening.
Yes,
so
this is a good lecture. It's very good.
Very informative.
Yes, very informative. Absolutely. Thank you. I mean, it's insidious and it's a horrible disease, but I always believe it's best to know, right? You have some control then. Don't bury your head in the sand and all that kind of stuff. So I really thank you for this. Thank you.
Thank you, Queen Irene. I think at this time, if we do not have any hands raised or any more
I don't know. I think
questions.
King Shaggy is raising his physical hand.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah? Okay.
Oh, all right. That's
These-
because, all right, you are on screen, so I couldn't see it. Thank you.
Mhm.
Brother Shaggy,
You're muted.
over to you.
So he can't unmute. Hang on.
Okay, so okay, let's find him and unmute.
What's going on with me? Hold on, we're coming.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. I think you just muted yourself
Yeah.
again.
Okay.
All
I
right.
think it's
We
staying
can
out.
hear you. We can
Happy
hear you.
Easter, everyone. It is risen. Praise the Lord.
He is risen indeed.
Amen. Amen.
First, I want to thank you for taking this difficult topic.
Yes.
It's a difficult topic, especially the moment we are right now in this family. What has happened to, a family friend, and that most of us are aware about. So talking about this issue can be extremely sensitive, but there's no better time to talk about it than times like this. Every time I go to a funeral and I talk about what's going on, I end up asking people to accept Christ. And someone has called me and said, do that in church. Don't do that here. I said, no, this is where to do it. This is where people can see where we are all going. And before we get there, maybe they can have a chance to know that there is a God who says no matter what happens to you here, you still live forever. So there's no better time. But I thank you for the courage to take time to bring this up. And I'm glad that we're gonna have a series of it so we can drill down. Thank you again. Thank you for all those who have spoken. Thank you for the moderators. Thank you for all the people that make this program, this ONPASSIVE, to continue to go on, to enlighten, to broaden our knowledge base, and just make us to grow spiritually, physically, financially, morally, in every area. God bless you. My contribution to the topic today is, I think the bottom line of what family practitioner is telling us today, Sister Irene, is we need to do an annual checkup. Even if it's just a basic one, and as we get facts from her, what I'm going to do is ask my doctor, if the insurance will not accept me for a BRCA test, how much is it? That would be my next goal. I'm hearing that for the first time. I remember Jolie, our story, but I never take that word. I didn't remember that one. I just Googled it and I found out what it is. And I'm going to ask that if the insurance says no, okay, maybe I can, find money to do this kind of thing that we need to do that's helpful to generations to come. Again, our bottom line is we have to. Don't wait until we're sick. Don't wait until we're infirm. When you are healthy, is the best time to constantly check, do a medical checkup.
Yes.
And if you're one of those doctors, like my old doctor, every time he says you look good, you look good. Just tell them you don't want to hear look good. I want to see the lipid profile. That's the little I know. I want to see this profile. I want to see that profile. Every year, I make a list to see what I want you to go through. So those things will expose whatever's going on before it gets bad. So I think if we take nothing away, remember to get a checkup. In the place where we come from, you haven't even been able to provide 3 meals. Now you are talking of checkup. You know what? Reach out to friends and family who know people. Maybe doctor friends, of your family friend, people you should work with, and ask them, can you put me on installment payment to do a medical checkup? Because that's how we catch the glimpse of some of these things before it happens. So again, I hope, we just pitch in with Sister Irene Ekwede and say, you know what? I'm going to make my medical checkup more constantly. Again, thank you for the courage to do this. so that what's going on don't just breeze over us. We can all see the need to make our medical checkup 1 inch more important. And I pray for the bereaved family and for the rest of us that God will sustain and keep us and continue to give us the wisdom to know what to do and to do it when it is important. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the time to say a few words.
Thank you, Brother
Okay.
Shaggy.
I will check on the cost of BRCA tests, and I will bring that the next time. But I know that it's expensive. It's probably in the tens of thousands. And like I think way back in 2013, when I worked with the women's malignancy branch, BRCA test was like 15,000. But a lot of things have changed. They have been so sometimes these things are expensive when a pharmaceutical company first finds a test or something. They want to get their patent money or whatever. And then once they have done that, then the prices drop. So I don't know how much BRCA test is now because I don't work with that department anymore, but I can find out and I'll let us know. It's probably cheaper than it was way back then. And I'm sure they are also seeing that doing that test helps a lot of families, because what they come to find out is that they really don't know that a lot of people have that BRCA mutation until they started doing this test. But I can bring that to us the next time that we have a discussion, and I will let you know what it is. If you just go to your doctor and you want that test done, the insurance will not cover it, and which is stupid, but they will not cover it because they don't have a reason why. So it's a genetic sequencing, so it takes a while to get it done, but because they've done it so many times, now the genetic teams know exactly what to look for. And so, like I said, that might have also brought down the price. But it's stupid. You just go to the doctor, and when that test done, they're not going to do it for you. Somebody has to be sick to not trigger that to be done, unfortunately.
All right. I can see Dr. Pat's hand is raised again. Dr. Pat, over to you.
Thank you, team. Thank you, Brother Shaggy. You've made me to raise my hand again. And thank you, Sister Irene. Yeah, the problem is, Sister Irene, so we should know our body, examine it. The external we can do, right? The internal we cannot. And sometimes, even when you go and say that you're getting pains, you're getting bloating, the type of test that they can deep down, like they scan or just scan, typically don't just ask. The doctors will not do it. So from this knowledge today, we should be asking. We should empower ourselves. The doctors know, but they will not do it because they know that insurance will fight them. But what I've realized here in the States, if you're here in the US, if you ask for those type of tests and they don't at least inquire to do it, they are in problem as well. They will not offer it. And that's the problem. When they start offering that test, you almost come into that late stage, Sister I, especially with all these internal organs. Right? You'll be like, you say we should know our body. You're going to the doctor, say, but I feel bloated. They say, I feel drunk water. I feel this. They're just going round and round and round. Instead of saying, okay, we have to order this test, this imaging. They tend not to. This, I will go and start, as the Brother Shaggy said, I will go and start asking this test. I remember I just went to my doctor. I said, I want to see a cardiologist. I said, why do you want to see a cardiologist? I said, I want to do an echocardiogram. Yes, you're trying to do it now. You worry that when they see that in your record, insurance company will be worried if you want to get a life insurance. But why did she do an echocardiogram? People have been caught in this catch-22. Right now, we should take our health in our own hands. So I went to the cardiologist anyway. I said, well, I just feel like sometimes my legs, maybe there's some blood flow to the actual, the vertical, what do you call that? I forgot the name of that test. After echocardiogram, then he gave me one more test. He said, okay, I want you to do the calcium score test. but the insurance company will not pay for that. I said, how much is it? Thank God that was not too expensive. The new test that is just out there. I said, what is better than taking care of my health? But I think the calcium score will look for blockage as well. So from this topic, since I really don't know, I'm going to see my internals. I want to do all this ultrasound. I want you to check every organs of mine, because I believe we lost a loved one because that type of test the imaging was done wrong. Because we all like, okay, I'm just feeling bloated. Okay, I feel constipated. Let me just take some laxatives and clear my system. Because this was somebody that went to his annual checkup, very healthy, is not overweight, and boom, like this, and boom, he's gone. So you can imagine the shock wave. So please, sometimes do little research, take what we're saying here to go and ask your doctor, I want to do XYZ test. They will not just offer it, not that the doctors don't know what to do, their hands are tied too. They don't just want to study you for the sake of studying. But sometimes if you push, I remember a story, it was a documentary, the guy went to the doctor and said, this is not my body. You know what they wanted to do? They wanted to send him to a psychiatric home. There's something wrong with his head. And he said, doctor, I'm not mad. I'm not crazy. I'm telling you, this is not my body. This is not my body. And they're like, what type of consultation is this? I don't know what is wrong with me, but I know this is not my body. And as I was trying to commit him, he removed his OID. And the doctor was like, whoa, it does not look like him. And that's when they started. So he's been saying this for a long time, but nobody's doing anything because that's all. He just know that he was generally unwell. He couldn't say anything, pinpoint anything. And they started doing tests and it was too late. This guy, that day, just removed his ID, said, look at me. But look at me. This is not my body. And boom, everything was too late. So sometimes we have to insist. Even when the doctor says nothing is wrong, you know your body. You know how you were feeling. I don't think we should deteriorate within a year. I know old age brings its own thing. And most of us just, oh, maybe it's age. I think we should really take this topic seriously. Thank you, Sister Irene. A lot of cancer death is happening in our community. Yes. And it's because we did not know our bodies. A lot of young people have been those cancer and they're dying. Like it looks like I'm just hearing about it. Do you know that saying that you will never know about a car model until you own one and you go on the street and you've seen the car models like
Yes,
I'm hearing a lot of cancer dead now and it is scary. Yeah. So this topic, I'm glad that Sister Irene has agreed to take the mantle, but we're urging everybody, you pay for car insurance. You pay for maintenance of a car. Please take care of yourself and pay for your own insurance. Take maintenance of yourself and make sure you insist. The good thing with this, anyway, for us, the state, yes, Pastor Shaggy say maybe you ask for payment plan. If the bills are too much, just ask for payment plan. They'll do it. Just ask for payment plan. Don't wait on the insurance because we're paying and they're not doing. You go for yourself and know your body and take care of your body. I am going to be doing that. I need a lot of internal ultrascan done. Thank you, Sister Irene. Thank you, the team, for the great job. Thank you, family.
Thank you.
I love you all, guys.
Love you too, Sister.
Yeah. So talking about what sorry, Dr. P just said, please, you have to prove to your physicians that you're knowledgeable. If you're not knowledgeable,
self-advocacy.
Right. Advocate for yourself. When you start feeling a type, write things. Okay, don't go to the doctor and sit there and think that you're going to remember all your questions. When you have issues, write them down. Because once you sit in front of those doctors, I don't know, I tell my patients, so now I work in research. I'll be telling my patients, when you go home, anything that happens, write it down. Don't think that you're going to come to me during your next treatment and remember everything, because you will not. Sometimes they'll come, I don't know if even including me, if we get intimidated sitting in front of the doctors, we don't remember those things. Please write them down. Get your notebook, write things down. When the doctors see you pull your notebook out and you say things that make sense, they will listen to you. Sometimes ask for a second opinion. Okay, I'm unfortunately, I'm saying this based on US residents and probably Canada. I don't know much about what is in Europe and our third world countries. Unfortunately, you probably really don't have those opportunities that much. But as for a second opinion, when you go to the doctor, you have your notes and you said, on these days, this is how my stool looked like. I had blood in my stool. I had this. When you have those things documented, because they're supposed to have that in your records when you say it, they get worried too, because they don't want you to sue them tomorrow. Because tomorrow you say, I told you this on this day.
Exactly.
I told you this, and this, and you don't take action. So you have to be proactive. You have to advocate for yourself. Don't go sit there and wait for the doctor to fetch it out, to look it out for you. And when they start thinking, oh, maybe it's this, can I get a second opinion? Yeah. So I had a patient that self-referred himself. So like I said, I work in research, called us because he went online. He called me because he went online looking for second opinion and found out that my branch treats lymphomas. So he gave me a call and said, I've been told that I have lymphoma. I don't know if this is true. Can I be seen or whatever? So we brought him in for screening. And when he came, the symptoms that he had from the lab work that we did not show that he has lymphoma. And asking him questions, examining him, we don't think he has lymphoma. But guess what? Before he came, they already gave him first dose of, this is potent chemotherapy that they gave this guy. But he did not have lymphoma. Well, if he did not advocate for himself and look and make research, he probably would have gone through 6 rounds of that chemo when he doesn't have the disease. So when he came to us, and then we called the hospital where he had the diagnosis made and said, can we get pathology for this person? So, here in the US, when they do your pathology, they keep the tissue. Can we get pathology? Send us a slide that you did this diagnosis, and then send us unstained slides, because we're going to look at what you have and then also do our own staining. They sent this thing and we look. But guess what? This guy, because he was worried, he's feeling unwell and blah, blah, he went back home. When we had told him, hold up, don't take any more chemo until we make this confirmation. But looking at you physically, we don't think you have lymphoma. Well, he went home because he's worried that, oh, this thing will kill, because I think he lost a friend from lymphoma. He went and got a second dose of this chemo, even after they told him, don't take any more until we give you a confirmation. And our doctors actually called the doctor and said, we don't think he has lymphoma, hold off. And, he did not. So when we finally did this and sent the report to the doctor, he now is saying, oh, the patient was anxious, and this is, where do you see a patient anxious and you treat him for something that he does not have? I felt tempted telling this guy that you could be very rich in this hospital. But I couldn't tell him. And then, of course, the doctor that was treating him said, oh, call those doctors at the NIH and let them tell you what the diagnosis is. So my doctor is thinking, what does this guy want me to throw him under the bus? But you want this patient to talk to me, because I'm going to tell him that you were misdiagnosed and you got this treatment for no reason. And this can actually then cause you cancer.
Yes.
Yes. But so you have to be proactive. You have to make research. You have to ask for second opinions. Make your doctors tremble when you come each time, because you're gonna ask them questions that they need to think twice before they do whatever they're doing. It is okay to ask for a second opinion. It is okay to know your condition very well. They tell you that you have colorectal cancer caused by HPV. You need to read about HPV. You need to find out what is going on, what the treatments that are out there, and don't just sit and say yes, and they just start giving you something. Make your research so these people know that you know what is going on.
You know, Queen Irene, doctors are human beings too, right?
Yeah.
And they do, some of them make honest mistakes and some just are not efficient enough, whatever the case is. But it comes back to the patient, the person, right? You have to be assertive, advocating for your thing, and knowledgeable as much as you possibly can without being in the health.
Yeah.
Yeah. You must take it's your body. That's what the title of your talk is. Your body. It's your body. It's somebody else's body. It's yours. You must.
And when you know your body, when you know your condition, when you advocate, it is very difficult for medical errors.
Absolutely.
But if you just sit quiet, so if they're giving you a certain treatment and in the beginning they discuss it, you come in and they're giving you something else. What is that drug again you're giving me? They will look.
Yes.
Make sure they're giving you the right thing, because it's easy for them, somebody busy, all this managed care, whatever, run in and they'll give you the wrong medication.
Absolutely.
Very vigilant. Know your medicines, know the times you're supposed to be taking them, know why you're taking them, know how they look like. Okay.
Yes.
You have to be vigilant. When they're coming to give you something, they ask, well, they usually don't ask your name and date of birth or whatever. Maybe ask, can I see that medicine you're giving me? Do not try. Because when you do that, before they go bringing it in your room, they will double check before they come.
That's right. Yes.
When they know that you're knowledgeable, they know that that patient will ask me this question, that patient will ask me this, they come in prepared. And it is very difficult to make mistakes.
True. Very true. And another option is, of course, if you're fortunate enough to be able to have someone go with you, and then you have a second pair of eyes and ears, and it's. Dr. Patience has her hand up, and I have a couple of comments in the.
Okay.
When you're ready.
I'll be very brief.
Oh, thank you, Doctor.
I just want to expand on advocacy. Don't panic and say, "Oh, do I have to be medically knowledgeable?"
No.
Find somebody. And I want to share a quick story. I had a little one that was a sickler. Means she has taken a lot of blood transfusion in her life. And she was what you call a responder. What a responder means is that you start forming different blood antigens, the K, the B. So as time goes by, it's difficult to type your blood. Because if they give you wrong blood, you are gone. You have to type your blood. So, because she started back home, they never did what is it again?
Antibody test.
They never did an antibody to see her original panel, right? What her real blood group is. So now she's done all this form, and now it's hard to type her blood. And I was trying to ask whether they can do this genetic tests to see whether they can get the background, what her original blood whole typing was. And they were giving me noise that they cannot do it. She was very sick at the time. I have a colleague that is like a guru in that field. I just said, hold on. She should get past the phone over. At the beginning, they thought he was a lawyer they were talking to. She was challenging them, tell them what they can do, how they can do it, even at this time that it was not done before, what type of tests they can do to get that basic information. So advocacy. And they said, oh, yes. And they finally did that for her. So now that is in her record. So if she happens, God willing, she doesn't have to, but if you happen to have blood transfusion now, they have some base that can start to type her.
Right.
Because once you're a responder, the more you take blood transfusion, the product, the more your whole blood typing is whack. It's getting difficult. So advocacy is very important. If you cannot speak the language in that field, and you have somebody that is there, let them talk to you, let them ask the question. As Sister Irene will talk, trust one or two people that can talk on your behalf as well if you cannot do it yourself. Don't sit by yourself and just say, as you said, doctors are human. Insurance company is tying their hands as well here in the States. So medicine is they're not practicing medicine the way they learn it. They're practicing medicine based on the insurance company.
Yes,
Correct.
it is.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. So thank you, Sister Irene. This is a very
Yes.
topic that is not too close to us, but
Yes,
we're looking forward
yes.
to the series. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, that is so true. Dr. Pat, I even recall talking about advocacy and blood transfusion. I know of an experience of someone who had a blood transfusion, and by the time they needed to go for the second checkup, guess what? They were ready, they did information, and by the time the doctor recommended that they should take a second transfusion, meanwhile, there were alternatives. And when you question, and then the doctor realized, okay, yes, there are other alternatives. You go and do other natural alternatives and see if this brings up your whatever you need to be done, and then we can circle back, and if it doesn't work, and then we can go. But then imagine if you do not ask the questions at that time, then guess what? They will continue giving you the treatment that they started already, which comes back to how ready or how knowledgeable are you informed about your body when you visit with your doctor.
Yes.
Or bring along someone who will be able to ask those questions on your behalf.
Yes.
Before you proceed. So even not only at the beginning of the illness, but during the treatment course itself, advocacy is all through the journey. You don't stop in the middle, or you don't just start and then you say, okay, now that we know. No, it is an ongoing process till the end. So yes, it is vital that know yourself, advocate for yourself, and timeliness.
Absolutely.
Timeliness. I know Sister Irene talked of it takes years for each of these cancers to develop in our bodies. The earlier or the sooner you get it, it's all about timeliness. When you get it at the right time and you begin the advocacy at that time, then it is always better off. So yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So I have two, well, one's a question. I'll read the comment first. This is from Dr. Doris, and she's saying, good day, everyone, and happy Sunday. She says, in neuropathy, we learned that diet, lifestyle, radiation can cause most cancers. It's also noted to depend on blood grouping and the types of foods you consume. And then she says, thanks. And then in addition to that, she says, God's plant medicine cures, but orthodox not. So that is from Dr. Doris. Queen Irene, did you follow that, or you want me to repeat it, or?
So I know she said something about, sorry, what was it again?
She says, in neuropathy, we learned that diet, lifestyle, and radiation can cause cancers.
Yeah. So the thing is that when you do radiations, I think when I did the when I was talking, some of the things that will increase your risk of having cancer is radiation. So when you have radiations usually destroys the cells. They break the DNA or something to stop the growth. Sometimes they'll do that. So when you're doing radiation, or I mean, you're just exposed to radiation, maybe too many scans, or you live in, like today we have the G5 or whatever, those are radiations.
Yes.
You live where you have all these powers and you have radiations. Those things, they can cause an error in your cell division. They can break a chain. And the proteins, so most of the DNA is made of a chain of proteins. They can break a chain somewhere, and so there's this breakage somewhere, and depending on where the breakage is, the cell might not be dividing and not go through that cell division process normally. As it would divide, check itself, make sure the division so far is going well, and then it divides again, check itself, and then does the last stage of division. Once you have that breakage, the cell is confused. It doesn't stop to do those checks anymore because something is missing. The DNA is abnormal due to the radiation. And so the cells will just grow wild and just multiply without checking, and they are abnormal. So once the cells are abnormal and can stop to check itself during cell division, they just grow fast.
Right.
And it will just be a bunch of nonsense cells. What happens to this is that the cells, because they are now multiplying fast and they lose, they can break from the origin where it started growing and will float in your blood system and will go and attach itself in another organ. So you see somebody has breast cancer, before you know they have the cancer is in the lung, it's in the brain, because those cells are loose, they grow so fast, they can break off, they just go through your bloodstream and they'll attach itself somewhere, maybe in your brain, and start growing there. So these things become like parasites and just attach and grow, unfortunately. So that's how you hear that your cancer has metastasized, because it left the origin where it started growing and it's gone to other places. It might even be in your lymph nodes. So your lymph nodes is part of the security in your body. They do catch these foreign things and they keep, but they'll catch it and keep it, and it will just start growing there in that lymph node. So I'm telling you, it's crazy. But yes,
Okay.
exposure to radiation will cause that. Some types of food, like now we have all these things. I know that when our new Secretary of State for Health was having his confirmation hearing in the Senate here in the US, they were talking how, they have all these ingredients that they put in food to make it good and all whatnot. America has like 10,000 of these, as opposed to Europe or even just Canada that is next door. They probably use about 400 and we have 10,000. These things are carcinogenic. So there are things that are poisonous, but you take them in small amounts and you don't know it accumulates. And it can easily just knock off an electron in some cell or knock off something, break whatever, and then, it starts growing like that. So the things that your food that you eat, it's even difficult to really tell what goes on. You wonder why when you're smoking, why is it that you end up now having cancer? You don't know what, the nicotine and whatever is added in cigarettes does to the cells in your lungs. And they start going crazy. So the food that you eat, it can, you drink water from areas that have had some kind of contamination, you end up having cancer. It's been known for some people living in certain areas that and the rate of certain types of cancer is rampant there because of the contamination of the water or even just the soil where they grow their food. And it's a lot.
But that's caused some chemicals, right? Outside chemicals in the
chemicals. These chemicals get in your body, we really don't know what it does to disrupt cell division.
Right.
These things just start growing. You have viruses like the HPV, there's this EBV, there are all kinds of viruses, some herpes viruses that will get in the body. So the cells have like, I don't know if I'm gonna start talking biology here. They have like proteins on the body of the cells that, makes them identify toxins or, poisons or whatever. These viruses will get in these cells and close those and pull those proteins into the cell so that the body will not identify that some foreign thing has gotten into them. And this now alter the chemistry and the cell division of these cells, and they start going. So some of those things are the ones that they have understood in research, how EBV or HPV, or KSSV is causing cancer, because they now see that they pull these proteins in and then they start doing their own division and then makes the cells start growing in a different way. Some of those are understood and they're trying now to get treatments for those things, which, like I said, when we're going to be doing each one at a time, we can talk particularly, but yeah, it all depends on what you put in your body. It distorts what the body does, and the cells start doing different things.
Thank you. Thank you. So I hope that satisfies
you,
Dr.
Queen.
Doris. And on a lighter note, I will just go to the second comment. This doesn't have anything to do with Queen Irene. This is Mama Edith, Queen Edith. She's asking, where is the First Lady? Is she okay? I don't have an answer, so I hope somebody else does.
We will find out, and maybe we'll bring that answer next week.
Okay.
Yes, it would be good to allow the First Lady to tell us or answer
What's
the
going on
question.
with her? Yes. Okay,
Yes.
that's fine. So I hope Mama Edith, Queen Edith, I hope you heard the answer there. So, all right, that's it for me, Sister Candler.
Okay, then I think we have come to the end of our Q&A session. Thank you everyone for the participation. This is a very important topic, and I mean, I am excited and already looking forward to our next
Session.
series, or session. We'll just wait for our speaker, Queen Irene, to inform us later when we get into planning when the next session will be. So maybe at this time, before I think I hand it over back to Queen Dr. Derek, I know we would like to close with our guest speaker giving us her closing remark, and then Dr. Derek can take over for us to continue.
Okay, so I just want to thank the Dream Team for giving me the opportunity to talk about this topic that is dear to many of us, our hearts, because we have lost loved ones young to this horrible disease. It is something that is also dear to my heart. So, like I said, I have been in oncology for 25 years. I have done different types. Right now, I'm doing something that is dear to my heart because I'm getting closer to retiring, and I feel like that's something I should take with me to Cameroon. And I think that will probably be my first topic to talk about. Kaposi sarcoma, which is very common, and people really don't know much about it. And it's treatable. It will not kill you if you seek help. So that would be my first thing to talk about because, like I said, it's dear to my heart. I feel like I'm going to take it home to Africa because the virus that causes this skin cancer is endemic in sub-Saharan Africa, unfortunately, and our parents will give it to kids not knowing. That's something that it was gonna be my first thing to discuss. But the important thing here is know your body. Nobody will advocate for you. Nobody will know what is going on in your body. It is you. Don't just live your life. Just live your life. Know what bothers you when you eat. Know how your body feels generally. Know how you feel when you work too hard and when you rest. How do you feel when you eat? How do you feel? Look at your skin. Know your system. Don't be shy to look at your poop in the toilet, except my brothers and sisters that use split toilets. You might not be able to see that, but you do use tissue to clean yourself. Look at it. Your poop is not supposed to be white. It should have some kind of color and some kind of consistency. Your poop should come out round because you have, your rectum is round. Your poop should not come out semicircle. Something is in here blocking it, and so it squeezes on this side and comes out like, so squeezing. You're getting what do they call it? Yogurt, frozen yogurt. it comes out, you know, with some lines in it or something like that when you get, so your poop should come out round because it should come out from the rectum as a tube, come out as a tube. Unless you're having some kind of diarrhea or soft stool, but if it's formed, it should have a shape. Your poop should sink to the bottom of the toilet basin when you use the bathroom. If that poop is floating and has some kind of color, you know, is white, I'll just describe it that way. Something is not right. When you start feeling, don't just assume that, oh, it's because I'm getting old. Oh, it's because I ate this thing. If it happens 2, 3, 4 times, don't wait. If you're feeling generally unwell, please don't wait. Go to the doctor, let them not find anything, and it's okay. Than for them to not find it, and then by the time they see it, it has overwhelmed your body, it's taken over your body. At that time, medicines will not work because, you know, the medicines work in conjunction with your own immunity. But if this has already overpowered your immunity, the chemotherapy alone will not work because the chemotherapy first will drain you down, and if you don't have the strength, then you're gone. Okay, so don't wait until it's advanced. Prevention is better than cure. That's what I'm gonna end with. Since I see that everybody's interested in this, I am willing to maybe we'll do a monthly series. Like I said, I can tell you a lot about cancers, but I think the one that is dear to my heart that I'm working on now is something that people really are not very knowledgeable in it, but I think we'll work on that. And then if people have requests, maybe there are certain types of cancers that people want to hear about more or something, you make the request, I'll work on it. So thank you very much, and happy Easter again to everyone.
Thank you, Queen. Thank you.
Thank you, Queen Irene. Over to you, Dr. Derek.
All right, all right. Wonderful. Mercy. Have mercy. Listen, I could not pay for that. Not at all. Thank you very much, Queen Irene. And I know we did not dream. It was the reality of cancer. Thank you very much, Queen Irene. This is awesome. So you know that you have to you have to come to Deep Dive Thursday.
Really?
It was my pleasure, Dr. Derek.
You know, you have to roll Deep Dive Thursday now. All right. That's what you cause. You see, that is what you cause. So, that's how it works. You ask Queen Canla how it works. And ask Queen Yvonne Finn how it works. All right. they'll tell you how it works. All right.
Yes, that's how it works, Queen Irene. That's how it works.
So see you on Thursday.
Queen Irene.
All right. Wonderful.
I got it.
Oh, that was awesome, though. That was awesome.
It was.
Thank you very much, Queen Yvonne Finn, for that great mindset. And thank you very
Dr.
much,
Derek.
Queen Irene. And it wasn't a dream. It was direct to the point. Thank you. Thank you very much. Really appreciate. All right, wonderful. I guess we have all the comments and questions for the topic today. I thank you all very much, all our kings and queens, and those that are on our YouTube. I see about 68, 69 people still on YouTube. We thank you, dear, for joining us. Really appreciate. And at this time, we are going to transition into our planning meeting. So thank you all very much for joining us, and especially those on YouTube. We will be playing a closing song from our dear, wonderful Sister Loretta Shadari, of course. But before we do, remember, join us every weekday from Monday to Friday at 1 p.m. You will have our Yvonne duo, of course, which is Queen Dr. Yvonne and Queen Yvonne Finn, doing a great job there. And then, of course, on Monday, we also have Queen Miriam Edwards with her program there at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. All these times are Eastern Daylight Time. And Tuesday and Thursday, deep dive. And you'll hear a little bit more about cancer come this Thursday. And on Wednesday, we have Julie Peer, and that is about 7 or 8 p.m. In the evening. And on Thursday morning, you have Oh Passion with Singapore, Malaysia, rocking the show. And then, of course, back again on Sunday, right here on the Dream Team. Thank you all very much for making it Dream Team. Really do appreciate. We do thank you very much for taking this time out of your busy schedule and making it here. Thank you. Peace, blessings, and enough love. Have a wonderful, safe, productive week. Take best care.
अपने लिए अब आसमान की सीमा